Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Never free. Metallica. The Unforgiven. Off one of the biggest albums of all time, the Black Album. 92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. Good morning. Philly Joe and Kirby on a Tuesday.
I'd have to do some research on this, but I wonder how many albums have been identified by color. So the Black Album, obviously, with Metallica. The White Album was the Beatles. Mm-hmm. Was there anything else?
Well, the interesting thing about the Black Album, and I've had people tell me this over the years, it's not actually called the Black Album.
No.
It was just because it
was black.
It was a self-titled album,
right?
But everybody, it came to be known.
Identifies it as.
Yeah.
Referred to as that.
Still a good question, though, Joe, the color. Like,
were there other bands that...
Stone Temple Pilots have an album called Purple, do they not? I'm almost positive.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, too. Yeah, now that I think about their
They beat Prince
lineup.
to that work today. You would have thought for sure Prince would have gone.
Joe, it's Happy to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. That's coming in already on the Boston Pizza text line. That is so nice.
Let me look at my phone.
Hashtag number 2 DAT. I tell you what I did. I watched 3 football games.
Yeah.
And that's it. I pretty much... I got on the computer for a little bit to respond to some emails and clean up the mailbox. But, yeah, I watched 3 football games. No pictures. Just it really happened, though.
I was in St. Pierre Joli.
Yeah, you were at a hockey game complaining about how cold the rink is there.
Coldest arena I've ever been at, and I've been at a lot of cold rinks. But so far, and of course, whenever you state that, because I put it in a photo of my youngest, they had a hockey game out there, and I'm like, the coldest arena I've ever been in Manitoba. And immediately, the replies start coming in. Then you've never been to Ericsdale. Like, I got multiple. I bet you I got.
I've been to Ericsdale
in
because
the barn?
that's where my late wife's family's from.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you've been in the rink there.
It was a cold rink, but I believe it was not as cold as the St. Pierre Joli. But look, they took the Jolie right out of St. Pierre with that cold.
I've been to the barn out in Oakville, and that is very cold.
Yeah.
But there's like an area you can go sit up in.
Yep.
You don't actually have to
watch.
watch.
That's high end.
Same with St. Pierre Joli, but listen, I'm a hockey dad. I can't
You got to be down there during the action.
I got to yell at my kid. I can't be in the enclosed glass part.
That's what you're hearing through the glass. Ericsdale, by the way, has natural ice. So that's why it's so cold, right? Now with all these, a lot of rinks having artificial ice, like I think Lundar does, the town before, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil's not going to be up in the glass, fogging up the glass up there while other people are listening, because that's the only people are going to hear him yelling. All you're
I mean, I was just watching Timbits hockey, so nothing was more exciting.
You can find reasons to yell at Timbits, Kirby. Come on, if you're going to be out there.
I'm a passionate cheerer but I'm not yelling things like, "Come on, why'd you miss that puck?"
Move your feet. That's a popular one. Move your feet. Let's go.
They're just worried about waving.
Yeah, that's
You're not going to say that at that age for sure. Blue Album, Weezer, Thanks Kid Salami, and The Butcher sent that in as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The Butcher.
Yeah, and Kid Salami both. Isn't that funny? One's a butcher, and the other one was Kid Salami.
Wow.
Who would win? The butcher cuts up the salami.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
We have a little bit of a understanding to all the moron drivers of Winnipeg. The speed limit is the speed you're supposed to go on the road. If you are not going at that speed because you're incapable or whatever reason, you are a hazard. Put on your goddamn hazard lights and start driving the speed limit. This is ridiculous.
I will say, as Joe's had in traffic, it's pretty slippery out there this morning. Some of the streets are shiny, so take it easy. Drive to conditions.
Like, if you're going 20 under the speed limit, then maybe. But, like, if you're, like, I don't know, 10, I don't think you need to have your hazards on.
If you're going, well,
I got to be honest, Kirby, the people that these people are complaining about in traffic do not have their hazards on when they're way below the speed. But no, driving to conditions has come up a lot on the Boston Pizza text line.
Yeah.
But 60 and an 80, which we talk about a lot on this show, say 60 on Abinogi or 60 on Lage, that is a problem in this city. A lot of people just don't seem to realize that the speed limit is 80 on Lage and Abinogi.
And you're talking about good road conditions.
That's what I'm saying.
When that's happening. Yeah.
Okay, this person wants to complain about letting too many people in.
This is to guy driving the Mercedes on McPhillip Street. Roads are slippery. And I'm driving a semi that's like 90,000 pounds total weight, fully loaded. And you decide to stop and let every Tom, Dick, and Harry from a side street in. Like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, there's a limit to how many people you should be letting in.
Well, I mean, that's a nice person, though.
It's one thing for Tom and Harry, but if you keep letting dicks in on a regular basis, then we all have a problem.
Oh, boy.
T. Kona, T. Kona, I'm telling you what, if you want to talk MPI, rebates, rates, this is your guy.
Morning, it's T. Kona. I don't know if you remember, I called in a while back about MPI and their gifts of rebate checks to everybody. Here you go. Things are going good. My call was to say before about them to stick it with their rebates, because eventually they're going to have a problem and they're going to end up having to raise rates. Well, lo and behold, look at what's happening. Whatever, a 5-point whatever increase in rates. So it goes to show you, keep those goddamn rebate checks to yourselves. Put it in the kitty when you have situations like this where you never have to mess around with the rates. Have a good day.
Do we remember? Of course we remember. It was one of the highlights of 2024. T. Kona called it, and I'll tell you what, if I remember, we even labeled it the Great T. Kona Rebate Debate.
Mm-hmm. I do remember.
Passionate.
Yeah, he is.
Well, and he's not wrong in a way, but I don't think anybody that has a chance of getting a check, you see money in front of you, we're willing to let them hold it for us any longer than they would have, because it would have gone to something else.
That's right. So you're like, yeah, give me that check.
Phil, you went out and checked your mail like every day.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I was fired up about that. Yeah, I'd walk right down there with a little key. Come on, where's that rebate check?
And now
at?
you know where T. Kona was coming from. You learned a valuable lesson, my friend.
I did. Okay, the hooligan. He's trying to jump the gun here on a possible new construction project.
I say we got about 3 months or so, maybe 3.5 until construction season starts. So let's start this off right. So let's talk about McPhillips again and Leela southbound. I mean, like, I really don't like putting the brakes on a green light in the middle of the intersection there, you know, and I get, honking at me and this and that. Like, you guys dropped the ball last year when you did the northbound lane. Like, I know you didn't do the southbound lane, but once again, McPhillips and Leela southbound, let's get that done this spring, all right? All right? Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. He gets results. Hooligan, there, when he gets on here and starts talking about projects that got to be done, a lot of times they get done.
It's almost like that old Eagles song, Take It Easy, in the corner of Winslow, Arizona. Like, we get the hooligan with Leela and McPhillips. Like, that's become more famous than the Portage and Maine debate.
Okay, let's wrap up with this one. I want to say this is Motorhead guy. Yesterday there was a hooligan complaining about sports endorsements and why would I buy a sub just because Scotty Barnes has subs? And he was all fired up.
Hey, Philly, Joe, and Kirby, it's Motorhead guy. So I was just listening to Bone Phone, and Mr. Bone Phone Hooligan had to go off about endorsements and stuff. Well, you know what, Mr. Bone Phone Hooligan? What about the Pittsburgh Steelers Mean Joe Green Coca-Cola commercial?
Oh.
Huh? What about that?
One of the best.
That's a kick-ass commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not a huge Steelers fan, I was, like, growing up, I was watching, like, all the old, like, NFL Network Top 100 stuff, and Mean Joe Green and that steel curtain defense kicked ass. And they totally deserve to have a commercial made after them. But, like, those old school commercials that leave a real staple in your life, those are the ones that kick ass.
Yeah, you know what? The Mean Joe Green story, Curbs, that one is an incredible old school commercial.
And I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
I mean, but that commercial was so emotional with the kid saying, hey, blah, 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 here's the Coke. And let's be honest, you got to suspend reality. When you think about it now, that was a concession Coca-Cola. That kid could not afford that at the stadium himself. His parents would have to pay for that drink because concession prices are huge. But getting the jersey, that kind of cool.
It was great.
One of my favorite commercials that I remember from the early 2000s. This is ingrained in my head. Terry Tate office linebackers
Oh,
for
yeah.
Reebok.
Sure.
Good one.
And it was just like this film, like this short film of like him taking down people in the office.
For me, it was Be Like Mike, the Gatorade commercials. If I could be like
yes,
Mike.
yeah.
Those were so great, and all kinds of celebrities were in them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, leave celebrity endorsements alone, hooligan. I think that's the conclusion.
Still like the odd Dos Equis every once in a while for the most fascinating man in the world.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's Entertainment Rundown.
I love when a celebrity is interviewed and the person, like for a cable news or something, and the reporter has no idea that they're interviewing a celebrity. You remember Jerome McGinley getting interviewed in a snowstorm at an airport, and the reporter had like no idea it was Jerome McGinley?
Yes.
It was like the caption underneath McGinley's name. It was in Boston. Was local man or something like that, and everybody's like,
that's funny.
Jerome McGinley. What are you talking about? Well, the situation with the wildfires in L.A., recently, something similar happened, and clearly this reporter had never seen the movie Police Academy.
We really need people to move their cars. So if you leave your car in Palisades Drive, leave the key in there so a guy like me can move your car and get them up there so that these fire trucks can get up there. It's really, really important.
Thank you for talking to us live, sir. What's your name?
My name is Steve Gutenberg.
So, Steve Gutenberg, and if I can paint the picture for you, and we've seen these videos and pictures a million times over the past few weeks. It's just absolute devastation and tragedy. But there's fire everywhere behind Gutenberg as he's being interviewed. He's got the reporter has like full on hazmat, gas mask, like, you know what I mean? And Gutenberg has got a mask on. He pulls it up quickly for the interview.
Is he not a trained professional too, Gutenberg? He's helped out before in other emergency situations. I just thought that was fantastic. What a story.
Yeah.
That he chipped in like we heard of a Winnipeg firefighter that was down there visiting his girlfriend, chipping in. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I did not know that about Gutenberg. Could be. I know I loved him in Mahoney.
yeah.
Mahoney in Police Academy. Of course, a lot of other things too. But cool story.
Well, you know, I'm going to be watching the Chiefs game on Saturday against the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
I got some Chiefs news for my fellow fans. Patrick and Brittany Mahomes had a little baby girl.
I was waiting on this because the baby was born 2 days ago, and I'm surprised you're holding on to this news.
Well, I love the name. Golden Ray.
Golden Ray.
I believe it has something to do with the other two kids' names. Isn't one of them Sterling and the other one I
Diamond?
think it's something along that lines, but
Lead.
Lead.
You got
Oh
bronze.
my God.
bronze.
Bronze.
Yes.
Was it
That's
bronze?
yeah. Sterling,
See?
bronze, and golden.
What's
Yes.
wrong with chrome?
Damn.
They didn't want to go with silver.
No chrome.
They're owning the podium.
Also, in case you were worried that Taylor Swift won't make it to the game on Saturday, she will be there. Travis Kelce has confirmed and said, you know it, baby.
And all of America, except for, and I don't mind Taylor Swift. I'm not really talking about Taylor Swift here, but all of America, Kirby, I know you love the Chiefs, but if you're not a Chiefs fan at this time of year, you turn into a cheering for whoever is playing the Chiefs. It's just the way they are. Like the Patriots were in the past. You know, they've turned into the evil empire where everybody cheers against them.
If you can't be excited about Taylor Swift's outfit before she makes the appearance at the game, then I can't help you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Joe and I usually talk about it a couple days beforehand, and then I'll text them, did you see what she was wearing? So we're excited. We're all in.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
New dad for Mahomes. He's been off for a few weeks, right? Like,
And I'll tell you,
unbelievable.
they're going to have their hands full. Houston looked good.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. And thanks for the intel on Taylor. Most of us were, quote, worried whether she was going to be there or not. Saturday Night Live, we had Chris Redd in here who played Rumors the other day, who left the show last season. But it's their 50th anniversary, and it's been well documented. That's coming up in February on a Sunday night. Should be unbelievable to see this. But what they're doing in New York is kind of neat. It's a live from New York, the SNL 50 experience. It means you can get your name announced and introduced and go through the stage doors and roll out a chair on Weekend Update. You can go out there as if you were hosting the show and get video of that. And it's absolutely free right now if you're going to be in that New York area between January 30th and February 2nd, that weekend. Kind of a neat live experience for fans.
I'd love to take that tour. That'd be so cool.
No kidding.
See the set and everything else. All right, that is your entertainment rundown.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Kirby, the lashes are in good order now. I know you were fixing them up here in studio.
Oh, my God. I'll tell you what, she was landscaping.
Yeah.
Like, that was some major work going on there.
I forgot to brush them out this morning, so they were all stuck in my eyeballs.
Those are things, look, if you're going to take care of your lashes right here in studio, I'm going to start cutting my fingernails right here in studio.
Oh,
is that a fair
is that
deal?
on par with
I
fingernails?
think it's fair.
Once the socks come off and you start doing your feet.
Yeah, that's the line. Like, if you start clipping your toenails, I'm not coming in.
I won't do the toenails, but Joe's right. What do? You exfoliate your feet? Is that I could do that?
Start bringing the old cheese grinder in here for the heels. Let me ask you this, Kirby, because
they're fake eyelashes.
No, 100%. But it's become a business. But how long has that been the case? Because when I was growing up, every girl I went to school with was doing their own thing with their eyelashes, right?
Like gluing them on or whatever.
Yeah. But now it's become a business, and in a very expensive business. What? Maybe the last 10 years?
Yeah,
has it
I would
really
say.
taken off?
Definitely kind of cool to see a lot of like it open up, side gigs for a lot of people or women who want to work from home or, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you don't have the lashes on, Curbs, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't had them off for
That's what
years.
I mean. There's been a time in this studio. I remember. Remember?
Yes, you thought
came
I was.
in.
You're like, are you
Yes.
deadly ill?
It threw me for a huge loop. You
Do you
didn't have
remember?
like, whoa, where the hell's Kirby? What did you do with her?
You remember remember that rainstorm where we both stood under them to stay dry?
Okay, like they've calmed down a little bit, but that one time they were a bit of an umbrella.
One time, somebody thought they were like a rare sight of a bird that has gone distinct.
Do you remember the time I
Lost
took
one.
20 minutes in my bathroom thinking it was a spider?
Yes.
Yeah,
And I sprayed it with hairspray to kill it, and it ended up being
I
one of
also
my eyelashes.
look more seriously. On a more serious note, I remember once you two in a golf cart, and thank God, Joe, ever since and when he golfs with you, he wears safety goggles because you guys were buzzing around in a golf cart, and one of them flew off and almost took Joe's eye out.
I feel like I felt like I was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I wear those kind of goggles nowadays. Every time I golf, I thought I was gonna. Really.
God.
Joe, why do you wear goggles when you golf? Safety goggles.
That's
Gotta
why
protect my eyes from Kirby's lashes.
I got a lash in the eye from Kirby.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
What does the new doormat say, Kirby? I saw you showing JoJo a photo of it off air this morning. Now, before we get into the new doormat, I remembered on this show talking about your old doormat.
It wasn't too long ago. She just got a new doormat.
It was a social experiment that we did on the show because I was convinced that if I put a doormat outside of my apartment, that it would get stolen.
We questioned, I remember, how many people will actually see or use the doormat in a year.
Right.
It wasn't that big of a number,
Yeah.
and you were worried it was going to get stolen. Now it's still there. It's maybe a year and a half old?
At least a couple of years, I think.
Couple of years old.
Yeah.
And we did tell you it won't get stolen in an apartment building.
Yes.
No one is.
Well,
you
who
know-
was right on that one?
You don't have bandits roaming the halls going, I need to just see down the hall. Lady's got a doormat. We got to rip that
Somehow
off.
we got to get in through the front door. Somebody's got to let us in up the elevator. 4 floors,
Well,
Kirby?
No, I thought it was going to be somebody in the building that saw it.
No, for sure. And then put it out in front of their.
Well,
Walkie-talkie. She just left. She just
okay.
grabbed the doormat.
Listen, this new one though.
Hold on, what did the
could
old
get
one say?
stolen because it is nice. The old one was kind of ugly. It was just basic. It was just like I think it said hello
Oh, hello.
or welcome or
yeah.
something.
But you went basic because you didn't want it to be
Yeah.
appealing to
That's
bandits, to welcome Matt Bandits. So that's why you went basic.
And then yesterday, I was in Michael's, and
I love Michael's has everything.
I know.
Including doormats.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a great selection,
Yeah,
really.
absolutely. A great selection of doormats. at Michael's.
I went in there for pens for my journal, and I came out with doormat. But I was like, oh, this is so cute because I was in Nashville back in November, and like the vibe of like the cowgirl boots and stuff like that. There was this cute little doormat that said "boots off," and it was in purple sparkly writing.
Right.
And I was like, I gotta have that.
Perfect color, right? To your vibe from your trip. Hold on a sec. Can I just backtrack a little bit? You seriously went to Michael's, a box store, for pens for
There's
your
a
journal?
specific type of pen
I was
like.
going to say, because, like, you go for groceries at Safeway, don't they? Like, one row right next to the, cereal. There's got to be pens.
No,
got to go to Michael's.
It's a specific gel pen, okay?
Oh, okay. That makes sense because of the arts and crafts end. Okay.
Yeah. But yes, doormats.
That's kind of cool. If you got a doormat and it brings you a vibe and it makes you smile every time you walk into your apartment, good for you, Kirby.
Well, the best part was I put it out, and then yesterday as I was cooking dinner, I could hear whoever in the hallway, I don't know who it was, but
talking about your
they
doormat?
were talking. They're like, look, she got a new doormat.
Well, maybe they were people casing the joint, looking to steal it.
How many times? Now, you're the last apartment in a row, are you not? Like, are you not a wall?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that these people got all amped up because they made their walk. These people, what are they, seniors doing laps like up and down the hallway? They got to the end, and somebody said to the other one through a paper-thin wall, apparently. Oh, my God. Walter, the girl with the purple hair, just got a new mat. The other one is only 2 years old. I wonder what she did with it.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
For the average person, this happens at about 15.
780 City, 780 2484. Good morning.
Hey guys, Joe here.
Joel.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can I pick Kirby, please? The lovely
Ken.
Kirby.
And just so people know,
Honored.
give Kirby a second to think about it. Joel always calls, and among other things, he requests a lot of bangers, and you got good taste in music, Joel.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm honored to hear that, Philly.
Okay, go ahead, Kirby.
I'm going to say they go to their first concert at 15.
That's a good answer. Very good
Oh,
answer.
that was.
Not the correct one, though.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Kirby. Joe, you take care of yourself, too. Okay?
Yeah, you too.
You're
I
welcome,
still
man.
remember my first one at the old Winnipeg Arena.
How old
Because
were you?
I've got buddies on Facebook that'll sometimes still post, the ticket stubs from old shows.
Mm-hmm.
I was about that age. It was the first show we went to was actually Street Heart, and Aldo Nova opened up the show for Street Heart.
Read all about
Magical, yeah. Yeah, it was unbelievable listening to Under My Thumb, Kenny Shields and the band's version.
I was Motley Crue, Girls.
Oh, that was a good one too, wasn't
Winnipeg Arena. My mom was not too excited that I was going to that show. Pretty rowdy, but man, it's a good time. 780
it?
City.
Look how you turned out.
Did all right. Good morning.
They start drinking coffee.
Not drinking coffee, no.
Thanks for playing.
I believe that is probably very true nowadays. I think
with all
people
of
have started
the
younger.
fancy drinks out there.
Yeah, it's easier to get into coffee for sure.
And what they're drinking, like they're going to Starbucks. Like, I mean,
780 City. We've got tickets for Bush on the line. Go ahead with your guess.
What about getting their driver's permit?
No, that's a good answer.
Very good, yeah.
Different levels now, right, on how they do it too, I believe.
Yeah, like
I got my learners at 14 and then my license at 16, I think.
It was 16 for us when I got mine, but.
Good morning, City.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
How about, whatchamacallit? Can I get a lifeline?
Yeah, Philly or Kirby?
Philly.
Whatchamacallit's a good chocolate bar, by the way. Can you throw the question out, Joe?
Sure. For the average person, this is happening at about age of 15.
First girlfriend, boyfriend?
No, not first.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That probably makes sense too, actually.
Is it anything to do with the opposite sex?
No.
Okay.
780 City. Hi there.
Would it be the first time they tried alcohol?
No, that's probably about true too. It always seemed to be before legal age.
Always.
Everybody's got a story.
I don't like being reminded of the first time I tried because we poured like a little bit of each bottle out of my parents' liquor cabinet into one water bottle.
Oh,
so like
God.
we were so inexperienced in drink, and we thought that would taste okay. No.
And look at you now, how experienced you are at drinking.
Oh, yeah, I just
All
don't
these
drink at
years
all.
later. But yes, that first time.
Oof.
Usually rough. 780 City, 780-2484. Tickets for Bush up for grabs. Good morning.
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 Can I get a lifeline? I'll go with Kirby.
Sure. Kirby.
Curbs, for the average person, this happens at about age 15.
They get their first bank card or account.
Ah, good one. No.
That was very good.
Nope. I'll take cell phones right off the table for you, too. Save somebody a guess, okay?
Any other hints you want to give, or is that enough for now?
Maybe enough for now.
Hi
Couple
there.
more calls.
Hi, City.
Hey, I'm going to say first job.
Not first job.
Ooh, good guess.
No, that's a good one, too, yeah. Great answers today.
Yeah, any of these. I wouldn't have been surprised if they were the answer. Hi, City.
They learn how to do their laundry.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You want a clue?
Maybe. 780 City.
This
780.
this is something that would be a physical thing. For the average person, this happens at about age 15. It's a physical thing.
Physical thing. Does it have to do with school-ish
No.
sort of thing? No.
Let's get physical. Physical.
Olivia Newton-John.
And it just showed up with their leg warmers
Oh, yeah.
and her tights.
Such a good song and
Yes.
video. Good morning.
Morning. Kirby, can you help me out, please?
Kirby, for the average person, this happens at about age 15. And has something to do physically with a human being.
They reach their growth spurt.
We'll give it to you.
Really?
We'll give it to you.
Really?
Yeah. You hit your adult height. So
At
that's
15.
that's usually your last spurt right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I
can't
don't remember being.
yeah,
I
when
don't ever
I-
remember being short. You know what I mean? Like.
I remember coming back from like a summer and I had grown like 4 inches.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty tall.
I was definitely the tallest girl in my class a lot.
See, in my case, when you're 5'8", there aren't too many growth spurts, so I don't remember.
No, but you're hoping.
Always
right?
open.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's this?
Big Al.
Big Al! Congratulations.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I gotta wonder, because you brought this up, Kirby, when a list of banished words that people should stop saying comes out, and it's an annual thing, do people actually hear the list and go, whoa, I use that, I'm gonna have to stop saying that? If right, are there people out there who make an effort to stop using words when they hear that it's on the banished list? And what makes it's overused is what would put a word on the banished list, or is it an annoying term, or what gets it on the banished list?
Yeah, just like overused words, or they're not cool anymore.
Not cool.
That's the best part is like I'll be hanging out with my mentee with Big Brothers Big Sisters and they'll tell me like, oh, nobody uses that word anymore. And then nothing humbles me more.
Right. Now, do you stop using it when
Yes,
you hear that?
I do.
Okay.
I try to keep up with the language of the young people.
Because I look at this list.
Wow, that's a good way of framing it.
I look at this list, and there's a couple that certainly I use. Joe for sure as well.
Oh, I think a lot of us use these words.
Mm-hmm.
This list for this year is very relevant, I feel.
There's 2 for sure that I use, if you want to go over it, Kirby.
Okay, well, cringe is overused.
I don't use that word at all, I don't think.
I do.
Yeah, you do a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll put a K beside cringe.
Game changer.
I use that.
I think that would be a P and a J. Yeah, Philly and Joe. Yeah, I think we both have used that. Sports. I think it comes up in sports a lot.
A lot.
Food. Well, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Have you tried putting, you know what I mean?
Aioli on that.
Yeah.
Chipotle. Boom. Game changer.
I've used this before. Era, like entering a new phase of life.
Oh, you use that every week.
Yeah.
Listen, I go through a lot of eras.
Yeah, there's been some eras.
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody went through them before. They just never told everybody they were
You know
through
what?
an era.
Blame Taylor Swift, okay? Dropped. Like if you were to say like, this band dropped a new song.
I thought it was going to be I dropped that loser. Thank God. Not in my life anymore. Like getting rid of getting rid of friends or breaking up with somebody. But yes, I think you're right. Dropped an album.
They say that you should instead of using dropped, you should use words like released or introduced
Okay.
to make a comeback. Sorry not sorry is another phrase that is being banished this year.
Mm-hmm.
And 100%. Like if somebody's saying, like, I agree, I agree with like 100%.
That's in heavy rotation for Joe and I. We both use that a lot.
I got to be honest. I don't see the reason that one has to go.
Well, it sums up how you agree with something.
Well,
I get it.
I'm not giving up Game Changer because that's
me
too
neither.
good. That's too good.
I'm not giving up 100% or Game Changer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I'm not. Those are.
I don't think they're overused.
Well, listen, I didn't make this list.
No, I totally agree. But I mean, you know what word I wish was gone? Because it makes manifest. Oh, I manifested it, so it happened. What the hell does that mean?
Do you want me to explain?
No, I don't.
What are you starting here?
It's
this
a
feels
dumb
like
word.
a personal attack.
No, it's a dumb word.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
We're just doing the math in here. I don't know. The randomness sometimes of our off-air conversations is hilarious. And that's why, the PJK Extra on the podcast, get the podcasts wherever you download all your favorite podcasts. And the PJK Extra is that exactly. It's just we hit up the mics and it's off-air conversations. And I wish we had the mics rolling off-air just now because we were chatting about Kirby's 50th birthday party 16 years from now.
No, her 51st.
Right. I'm planning my 51st. My 50th is going to be a rager, but my 51st, let me tell you.
Yeah, the one that everybody's going to want to be invited to and question with, what do you mean you're 51st?
So that, Joe and I started doing the math so you could see steam coming from our heads about how old we'll be. And well, Joe, you started it. You're like, I doubt I'll be alive for your 51st.
Well, I've already RSVP'd you, Joe.
Well, I appreciate
so you're going to
it.
have to keep in there.
Your next
Hang
one,
in there.
your next one's officially what, 36?
Yeah.
That's coming up in May.
Oh, it's 36. Sorry, I thought you were turning 35.
No, that was
I am
last
35.
year.
Yeah,
So,
turning 36 this coming May.
In 16 years, I will be, I'll be 66. Woo.
Yeah, Route 66 for Phil.
Oh,
You'll be
that would be a
collecting
good
your
one.
old age pension.
God, no, I'll still be working.
Still working. Well, you got young kids.
Yeah, the kids.
Good chance they'll be living at home still while they're going to university or college.
I keep hearing that. They live at home forever nowadays. Is that the deal?
I just read something this morning, and I think it came from MNP, one of those reports out that here in Manitoba, a lot of people that took this survey, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, so it was something like feel like they're like $200 short from being like broke
Yeah,
in
I
their
also
bank
read
account.
that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think so. Like $200.
A lot of Canadians are $200 away from being broke.
It's so tough, and I really feel for some of those younger people trying to buy their first home and that, right, and even jobs and what they pay in some cases, right? So yeah, Phil. There's a good chance. We're having Kirby's 51st actually in your basement.
Can I rent it out?
No, because the two kids will be still living there.
For more Philly Joe and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.